Hey bitches, welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting here once again with the love of my life. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm in a good mood today. We have a lot to talk about.
We do. The first person that I want to talk about is Alex Earl. And the last time that we talked about Alex Earl, it was because the Do We Know Them podcast was saying that they received like a cease and desist from Alex Earl's legal team.
Us people who have a lot of money and just try to make things go away. Alex Earl had her lawyers email us. I have to say it. I can't keep it in.
It is the weirdest I've ever seen.
They emailed us, first of all, thinking that we have any control or association with our subreddit, even though it is stated multiple times on every single post that we have no affiliation with that. We don't moderate it. Yeah. We don't have any access to it. And either way, her lawyer contacted us and said that we have violated their copyright.
Oh, no. We have violated like a dozen laws, according to this email, including like money laundering or something. Like it's Janet level, like you're gonna go to jail for years.
Yeah.
Like, but it was
you're wondering why this would even happen, because we haven't spoken about Alex Earl in a while. It's because someone posted on our subreddit on the like heels of the Brooke Schofield stuff. Well, Alex Earl apparently has her fair share of a pass with using the N-word a lot on her Ask FM. And so people posted screenshots of that in our subreddit. And her lawyer said that they have a trademark to that, which is like, you trademarked her Ask FM things?
Like, literally, what? I was like, oh, that's a creative tactic.
Right?
Like and I was actually talking to Becca about it, and we were like, not obviously, it's like really and awful that she was using the N-word, but like her situation isn't even close to what Brooke is.
Because during the whole time that Brooke Schofield was getting canceled for her tweets that came out, Alex Earl had a lot of stuff surfacing from her as well. She had like Ask FM, which was like you asked questions or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like NGO, like back in the day. You could ask questions anonymously and you could respond to them. But girl, wasn't she like 13?
Yeah, she was 13 years old. But the reason that the Do We Know Them podcast actually received the cease and desist is because they have a subreddit that they have no affiliation with, and they have made it very clear in their videos that they are not affiliated in any way and do not actually post over there. So I guess when the Brooke Schofield shit was going on, somebody posted over on the Reddit. So now they're tied into this, but there's other influencers as well over on TikTok that received similar letters from Alex Earl's legal team. Alex was commenting on people's videos saying that it's like simply not true, and that's like not the case.
Alex Earl commented on my video and other creators' videos in regards to the trademarking rumor. And I want to specify that she commented on my video where I literally played the clip from the Do We Know Them podcast explaining the email they received. And Alex commented, "This is simply not true." And I've seen this comment from Alex under other posts in regards to the trademarking rumor. I do have some questions, Alex, because the Do We Know Them podcast, the Reddit page for the Do We Know Them podcast that has no affiliation with the podcast, also posted what they received from Alex's team. And my question to Alex is, they literally received the same thing. So I'm finding this really hard to believe that this is simply not true. So these two women that originally received an email did speak with Variety. And this is Jessie Smiles and Lily Marston's statement to Variety. And they say, while we cannot speak to the legitimacy or existence of any trademarks or copyrights, we can confirm that we received an email from an entity identifying itself as Web Sheriff. This entity claimed to act as the rights agent for Alex Earl and had written the email to notify us of 11 different alleged infringements and violations. The email was signed by John E. Henahan, who asserted under penalty of perjury that he is either the intellectual property rights owner or authorized to act on behalf of the owners of the exclusive rights that are allegedly infringed. And this is from the Do We Know Them podcast subreddit, who has no affiliation with the podcast. And they say, we do not know if this is her lawyer because it was sent by a user and not an email address like Jessie and Lily received, but the structure that the girlies showed was oddly very similar. They took a full screenshot of what they received, and yes, very similar to what the podcast owners received. A listing of the same infringements and violations. And look at that, the same attorney, John E. Henahan, on behalf of a Web Sheriff. And just like the podcast owners had shown in their video, here it says trademark and general reservation of rights. Alex Earl does have a pending trademark that was filed on July 25th, 2024. Around the same time that people started talking about the Ask FM comments that they had found. Alex Earl is trademarking her name. That's fine. The timing of the trademarking? 100% suspicious. Also, taking the time to comment on videos in regards to the trademarking rumors, knowing that you will have your followers/minions come to our page and flood our comments. When you could have made a video yourself addressing this, prove to us how this is all lies and false. Instead, you just wrote a story that will go away in 24 hours and just tell us, yeah, that's a lie. But I do find it hard to believe that the Do We Know Them podcast and a subreddit that has no affiliation with them received the exact same email. Maybe Alex didn't know about this email that her team had sent. But still, Alex watched the videos in regards to this. She saw what they said. She could have asked questions to her team.
But girl, why is your team sending out like legal letters to people about a trademark on some racist ass shit that you said when you were 13 years old?
I got a better question.
That's crazy.
Why did you post the acne video, Alex? We all know you post acne videos when you get caught,
Well,
girl.
she actually did respond to this time. This has been talked about several times, but I've never actually seen the posts from Alex Earl. I've just never taken the time to go over to Reddit to look at them, which is kind of weird that they've never been posted over on TikTok the same way that Brooke Schofield's like tweets were going around over on TikTok. I wonder if other people have received legal letters, and maybe that's why, because it's normally a thing of like, did you guys see what Alex Earl said? Oh my God, I just saw, I'm so shocked, I can't follow her anymore. And people are in the comments asking questions like, well, what did they say? Like, girl, go over to Reddit.
I cannot stand when people do that. Like, if you're going to allude to somebody saying something and you're going to talk about them doing something, tell me what it is that they did. Please tell me.
So as you were saying, Alex did upload an acne video, which seems to be like every single time that Alex gets involved in some drama online, she's going to upload a video about her acne journey, like what products she's using, how she got rid of like cystic acne. It's usually like a lot of stuff about Accutane, and people say that's actually why she's like one of the most relatable people out there, is because she'll actually show you her real skin. It didn't work for her because she had to actually release a statement. Her PR team said, girl, cut the shit, get online and say something.
It's not just Alex Earl that does that. Let's be honest, because MIKAYLA, she'll do like a weight loss update body dysmorphia video if she gets in hot water. Like Laura Lee went down to Skid Row when she got in trouble. I mean, they will do anything.
I will never forget when Laura Lee went to Skid Row. I know that we bring it up all the time, but that was... She just looked frightened underneath that bridge talking to that man. Like, I don't know why she thought that that would be a good idea. If you guys remember that, let me know down in the comment section. Like, leave an emoji of a bridge.
She didn't think that that was a good idea. Somebody told her that that would be a good idea and it would be perceived well,
because
and
they
she
said
went with it.
that her PR person was like actually her husband, and that's the guy that was doing the same thing for Manny when he was sitting down to do like the reality show, like questionnaire thing. Like, girl,
get up.
Girl, bye. Anyways, Alex Earl actually responded to this, and she released a statement over on her Instagram story, and some people are like upset about that because they're like, why did you say this in video? Why is it on an Instagram story that only lasts for like literally 24 hours, Alex Earl? So she said, a couple weeks ago, screenshots surfaced from my old ask.fm account showing me using a slur in the summer of 2014. I am taking accountability and want to make it clear that I was 13 years old and did not understand the deeply offensive meaning behind that word. That is no excuse for using that word in any context or at any age. That absolutely is not the way I speak or what I stand for. I am deeply sorry that my words have hurt many and have led people to believe that I have any prejudice in my heart. I promise you that could not be further from the truth. My platform has always focused on positivity, entertainment, and uplifting others, and will continue to do so. I am sincerely sorry to those I have offended. I regret how I handled this situation, allowing too many people to talk me out of saying something for too long. I wasn't sure how to handle it, and unfortunately the advice I was given, although well-intended, was wrong. There is no one to blame but myself for not standing my ground and going with my gut to speak out right away. And now this is the part that people think that she actually put the statement out for, because during all of this, one of the major things that was talked about is that Alex Earl was allegedly losing a sponsorship, like a major one. I can't think of like off the top of my head what brand it was, but it was something major.
I hate to be the one to break this to you, Alex, but the advice you're getting is still pretty bad.
And you can pause to read. This was posted on her Instagram stories last night.
And I don't know if it was her or her team or whoever that advised her to put out this apology in the form of a story on Instagram, but this could possibly be the most disingenuous way you could ever try to offer an apology to someone. It only lasts for 24 hours. Like, you're only going to be sorry for a day? Like, what? And if you ask my opinion, I think the only reason this even came out is because she wanted to really address this part, but she couldn't address this without talking about this. She wanted to address the rumors of trademarking her tweets or whatever, but she also really wanted to talk about people not taking their brand deals away, like signaling to like the people who partner and sponsor her, like, don't take my brand deals away. You know, that's not actually happening. It's not that serious. But again, she couldn't say this part, which is what I really think was her motivation, without saying, you know, this part. Because I don't know, if you were really sorry, I don't think this part would have even mattered. And I definitely don't think it would have been in the form of something that only lasts for 24 hours. But, you know, that's just my opinion.
So she went on to say, in the absence of my addressing this, my silence allowed others to fill the void with rumors that simply aren't true. One rumor in particular is that I tried to trademark my old posts, which is absolutely ridiculous and untrue. Although in the email that people were receiving from her attorney or legal team, it literally said something about a trademark. So
yeah.
It's like...
Girl, okay, Lily and
What y'all
Jesse,
believe?
they're not going to lie about that. But my thing is, like, how does she have the gall, gumption, audacity to sit there and type all of that out and make it seem as if this is something she wanted to talk about before? Because she makes
Yeah.
it seem like she went to her friends or they came to her and they were like, girl, you need to address this.
Girl, her team came to her.
Girl, no, she didn't
legal
think
came
about
to
this.
her.
The only reason she's talking about this now is because she got caught. Literally, that's it. Like,
Well-
how dare her lie like that to her audience?
Well, she went on to say, another is that a brand announced they are no longer working with me, even though we have never been in conversations with them about a partnership in any capacity. Regardless of what is being said online, I wanted to come on here to address the facts and most importantly, apologize. So people think that she only wanted to put this statement out, not that she's actually sorry for what she said when she was like 13 years old. And I know there will be a lot of people out there that are going to say a lot of people said some dumb shit when they were 13. And you're correct.
Yeah.
That's 100% a point. Just not everyone is on the level of Alex Earl with shit getting brought up from years ago.
Well, girl, it's not even that. Like, this is such a unique situation. Think about it this way, because Alex Earl is much younger than we are, right?
Yeah.
She's a social media influencer. There's never been a time in her life she has not had social media. So I feel like this is going to be a continued thing with people. They're going to dig back on people that are coming up and see things from years ago when social media was new and these people didn't even know how social media really worked. And they're going to find a bunch of stupid shit that they said. Look at Brooke. It happened to her too. It's kind of the same thing. I'm not saying what they did or said is okay, but this is
Well-
kind of like a fairly new thing.
Well, Brooke was a little bit older than what Alex Earl
Yeah,
was, because
yeah,
Alex
of
was
course,
13,
yes.
she said, when these posts were being done. Brooke was what, like 17?
Yeah, Brooke
18?
was. Yeah.
Like,
The discussion in the dorm move-in final day is about Alex Earl and the apology on Instagram stories. But before we get to that, there's been a request by girls that I'm too close in my TikToks and I have to film back. I have to pull back. Do you agree with that, Quinn?
Yes.
Okay, Rory's made that stipulation.
Hit that like button if you agree.
Okay, all right, fine. So now the question is, I have to ask you. So a lot of people have been tagging me saying, in this case, has Molly McPherson taught you nothing? What is up with the Instagram story apology? So the question I have for you two people of your generation, Gen Z, is the Instagram story apology enough? That's you. Cue you, Rory.
Oh, I think personally, the way Alex did it, she waited a very long time.
How long did she wait?
Like a couple weeks or several amounts of days, or like maybe even like a couple weeks. Like she kept posting like nothing happened.
Okay.
And people were commenting a lot, and so she finally addressed it, which I felt was good, but it came after way too much of silence.
Too much pressure.
So, yeah, so people are making a lot of narratives, which she said are false narratives.
Okay, it's hitting the press like this week. It's been up this week. In your opinion, is an Instagram story apology enough?
I mean, it won't ever be enough, but I think it's better damage control than doing nothing.
Oh, that's a good answer. That's a good PR. It will never be enough. That's a good answer. Quinn, what say you?
I think that a digital footprint is real and it stays. So even though it is on the story and it goes away, it's people can always like screenshot it and it can always be there.
This is true. You want to know another element too?
But I think it's a cop out.
When it's an Instagram story, it's not able to be part of. It's like not embedded in news stories either. That ability is not there either. So that's the other protection. So the thing is with Instagram, are you still listening, daughter? Quinn, college has started. I'm teaching.
If you lost the daughter, you lost the viewers.
No, but here's the thing. If it's Instagram stories, it doesn't embed in news stories, digital news stories. It does go away after 24 hours, and you're absolutely right. You could do a screen grab, but editorially, they don't do screen grabs a lot. Sometimes it does happen, but they get a lot of pressure from managers and from agents. And, I've been on these calls. I've been in these discussions. No brand wants a lasting apology that's tethered to some incident, whether it just happened or whether it's 4, 5, 6 years ago. So is it right? Is it transparent? No. Does it show integrity, ethics? No, it doesn't. But from an influencer business practice, seems like it's the SOP, standard. Do you know what SOP means?
No.
Standard operating procedure.
Standard operating
Standard operating procedure.
Thank you, Ensign.
So moving on from that, I want to talk about Gypsy Rose real quick because she apparently, allegedly, is putting out a bunch of false copyright claims on people's videos that are like just talking about her, I guess, in not a favorable way. I know one of the people that's been talking about this over on TikTok is Nina the beauty influencer. She has had a lot of beef with Gypsy Rose. She's the one actually that Gypsy did that video and she was like, oh, honey, I am so not threatened by you.
I have a
touch
chance.
you with a 10-foot pole.
Gypsy's voice now gets on my nerves. It's so annoying.
It is. So a lot of people are obviously upset that Gypsy Rose is trying to silence people with these alleged false copyright claims, and they are letting her know that it is actually against the law to do that.
That's so stupid.
And she is on parole, Gypsy Rose.
Why would you do something so stupid like that? I think people think that it's not a serious thing when it comes to copyright, but it is. I actually just posted a whole video on my channel today about somebody trying to take Mississippi Queen down with false copyright strikes. That's not funny. That's not cool. I don't know why people think that they can misuse that system that way, but that's some bullshit. Did you see where Gypsy Rose was talking about she doesn't have her Coke bottle body anymore? And somebody said, where was the Coke bottle to begin with?
That's not just somebody, that is Glitter Forever, and that is Breland.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think I have that video clip. If I do, I'm going to put it in here.
This is regarding Gypsy Rose toy. I cringed so hard when she said she had an hourglass figure right before getting pregnant. Hourglass figure. Where? Where, Jeffrey? I'm asking the same damn thing. What? Wait, what? Wait. Am I missing something here? I mean, when did she have... I don't think she's ever...
Breland has been beefing with Gypsy Rose over on TikTok, you guys, for like the longest time as well. Probably as long as Nina the beauty influencer.
Yeah.
And she is dragging the fuck out of her.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's really actually funny as fuck to watch. Breland don't give a fuck.
No. I wonder if Breland is actually one of the ones that received any kind of like copyright complaint.
I doubt it.
No,
If she did, she
Breland would
wouldn't
drag
give a
her.
shit.
Breland
Yeah.
would drag her. And the next thing that I want to talk about is the canceled podcast, because a lot of people on social media have been wondering what the future is going to hold for that podcast. We know that Tana sat down and completely like threw Brooke to the wolves. A lot of people were not happy with the way that Tana handled it. In her response, she said that she was going to like go a different direction a little bit with the podcast, and they were going to start talking about things going on in the world, like current events. Nobody wants that. Like, nobody is excited about that. There were literally like hundreds of comments down below from that video telling her like, please God, don't
It's
do that.
not that nobody wants that. People want that. That
Not
is
from
content
Tana.
that people, they don't want it from Tana and Brooke. Who?
No.
What the
So, not even Brooke, Tana. Who is
Yeah.
going to Tana Mongeau for like world events?
Girl.
Or looking at her for the
Tana
election?
Mongeau jokes about overdosing on heroin and snorting coke all the time. I don't want to hear about socio-political events from Tana.
Do you remember
I
when she
don't.
was doing like tits for Biden?
Yes.
I wonder how much she raised. So there really hasn't been much like talk about what is actually going on with the Cancel podcast from Tana or anyone involved. Tana's been on vacation. I think she's like been on some yacht in Ibiza. So a lot of people obviously thought that Brooke was just going to be completely fired and she was going to go on about her business because she's been posting over on TikTok. And I have to say, the comment section underneath Brooke's videos is nothing but nice. I don't see anybody, I don't know if she's filtering comments. I don't know if she has like words blocked. I don't know if you can do that over on TikTok. But I don't see anybody talking about what was just...
I don't either.
she was
But
getting
you know who
canceled for.
was?
Who?
You know who tried it? Alyssa f***ing Violet.
She did. She did. I still cannot believe that Alyssa Violet sat down and did an apology video to Brooke and to Tana and used Brooke's apology to Tana word
Epic
for word.
trolling.
As much as I would love to ignore this entire situation, put my Instagram on private, turn my comments off, and hope it all blows over, I really just don't feel comfortable doing that because I know that if I were to stay silent, then I'm validating everything that she says in that story and making it true, and I'm not willing to do that.
As much as I'd love to ignore this entire situation, turn my comments off, and hope that this all blows over, I really don't feel comfortable doing that because if I were to stay silent, then it's validating what everybody's saying and have been saying and make.
I've since received thousands and thousands of comments, DMs, TikToks, tweets, you name it, basically telling me I'm just a terrible person, a terrible friend, and believe me, I'm seeing all of it and I hear
us. I've received thousands of comments, DMs, TikToks, tags, etc., pretty much telling me how awful of a human being I am, and believe me, I'm seeing it all, and I have.
That's why she put the
Epic
sunglasses on.
trolling.
That is why she needed the sunglasses, because she was reading. Girl, blaming it on the light coming in from the window.
That is so
An
funny.
epic troll. I have to give kudos. I said this in your video. I have to give kudos to Alyssa Violet in this situation because I didn't know that. I literally gave props to
I
Alyssa and
promise
how well
you,
she handled the situation.
When that video first came out from Alyssa Violet, I was sitting right here. Nick was sitting over there. He was like watching that video. He was like, "This is really good."
I was like, wow, she is really speaking well. Good for her.
He really did say that. And then to
God
find out that
damn.
she was just miming and
Yeah.
like mocking.
I
Brooke?
wonder if Tana picked up on that when she watched the video and just hasn't said anything about it, because she's probably like, I think I've heard this before.
Well, I know Brooke commented on Spill Some
That
Tea
is
with Me's
so-
post that pointed it out, and she was like, "Wait a minute, like."
No, that is like so funny, but also so insulting to Tana. I think honestly, Tana is the type of person that would appreciate that a little bit.
She would,
because it's a mean girl tactic.
But you know what? Tana's gonna come back and she's gonna do something. She's gonna say something about Alyssa.
So for all the people out there that wanted Brooke fired from the canceled podcast, I have some bad news for you, because Tana actually did respond to a comment over on TikTok, and they were like asking like, when is it coming back, or is like Brooke going to be on the episode? And she said that they are actually sitting down to film today. So I wonder what they're going to talk about. And since Brooke is going to be back on the podcast, do you think that she should address what she was canceled for, or do you think they should just go into an episode like old times and they should talk about whatever?
I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, y'all can get mad if you want. I think it's already been handled. Brooke knows what she did. She's had her nose rubbed in it. She's paid the price. If you want to forgive her, you can forgive her. If you don't, you don't. It's really that simple. I just don't understand why people want them to continually address that. We know what Brooke did. Brooke knows what she did. Tana knows what she did.
I really hope that they keep the podcast the way that it was. I don't think they need to change it and start talking about stuff going on in the
Hell
world.
no.
They just need to sit there and say, yes, we have both been canceled for saying and doing really horrible shits in our time here on the internet, and other people have as well. So we're gonna talk about that because people talk about us.
Yeah.
Do it like that. Like, don't sit there, because I think, like, with us, okay, I'm gonna use us as a example real quick. I don't sit here and think that I'm like holier than thou and I don't say up shit and all of that. Trust and fucking believe. I say horrible shit all the fucking time and will continue to do so. I just like remember back in the day, like people looked at drama channels and they were like, you guys think you're so much better than everyone sitting here trying to pass judgment. No, bitch, we're just judging as shitty ass people as well, okay? Shit recognizes shit. So with all that said, everyone, that is it for this video. We hope that you did enjoy it. Please leave us a clown emoji down below. Apparently, there is no beach ball, which
Yeah.
I think is absolutely fine.
Is that
and
like
I
a
do
Mandela
think that
effect?
there was one.
I feel like there was.
I've seen it.
Do you
I
know-
can see it in my head
Do
right
you
now
know
what it
that
looked
there
like.
wasn't a robber emoji?
Yes, there was.
There was. They're saying that there. I believe
Yes,
there,
there was.
that there
Oh,
was.
did they take it off 'cause it was
no?
saying fifis?
Apparently, the thing with the emojis and the keyboard, once they're added, they can't be removed. So there would be no way for them to remove them.
I call bullshit.
I
There was
researched
a
it.
robber.
I researched. There wasn't.
Okay.
I thought there was.
Do y'all remember these emojis down below? Let
I
us
do.
know. And we will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.